Hey everybody, and welcome back to the studio for another episode of Stinky Robot Drawing Sessions. I'm Michael Smell. Welcome. Monday mornings, you guys ready to get drawing? Yeah, you may have noticed today's live stream's kicking off just a little bit late. My brother-in-law showed up in town today, and we don't ever miss a chance to go throw some disc golf. So yeah, apologize for being late, but yeah, that was my chance to get out and have a little fun this morning. So it was a good time. I dominated. By that I mean I won by 2 strokes, but it was still a lot of fun. So Jason, thanks for showing up. Drive safe getting home, bud. And yeah. Well, I'm on the apology tour. We'll go ahead and say, sorry about Friday night. If you did show up Friday night for a live stream and noticed that I wasn't there, yeah, I got hit with the snot factory and the sinus headache, so pretty much had no voice, and I made the call about 8 o'clock. I just had to call it, and I took myself some NyQuil and called it an early night. Feeling a lot better today. Still got a little bit of snot up there, but we're doing a lot better. Not too bad. Well, if it is your first time showing up on this channel, hit that thumbs up. Let me know you're in. We will be drawing here for about 1 to 2 hours. We start a piece of art from start to finish and knock out a new piece every day, 5 days a week. As long as I'm feeling better, anyways. 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. We'll make some changes to schedules, but it looks like as of right now, we got sports season coming. As of right now, we're going to keep the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays at 11:30. And we're still seeing about the Thursday, Fridays. Waiting to find out when game days are going to be for the kiddos and their sports. But as of this week, we should be live Thursday and Friday at 9:30 Central Time, unless game changes. So we'll find out game schedules this week, and I'll keep you guys informed. But yeah, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we should still be here at 11:30 minus the slight delay today. Anyway, thanks for showing up, guys, for another live stream. Let's jump in here and let's see what we're going to start drawing today, shall we? All right. For anyone new in the channel, I would typically draw with just a good old-fashioned number 2 yellow. Nothing truly fancy there. And then we jump in with that after I use micron pens, do a quick outline, and then we finish everything up with acrylic inks. And then I'll typically go back over one more time with some micron pens and pop some details out. You can use whatever medium you wish to use though on these live streams. Whatever you're comfortable with drawing with, whether it just be pencils or pens or whatever you have in your bag or your purse, just grab something out and start drawing. You can paint if you like to paint. And I also typically try to jump in these without much on my, not a lot of forethought in these drawings. I just pretty much just show up ready to draw. And that's the best way to brainstorm. These are basically brainstorming sessions that we go through and see what we can come up with at the end. Some are better than others, but it's a good way to challenge yourself. Jump in without a lot of forethought, without a lot of reference material. I do use reference material from time to time when I do have an idea or concept. Sometimes I'll have a loose idea that I want to run with. And other times I may be a little more involved just if I'm working on a piece currently that I need to practice a certain element, then I'll be a little more involved. But for the most part, these are all just brainstorming sessions. And they can kick off a whole new direction for you. All right. But that's typically the shape of a straight on head, so that's where we're going today. Let's see what we can do. Take a second here to kind of gather my thoughts and see what direction we're going to run. Oh, that's an idea. So a lot of times if you just scratch in some basic lines, and they can kind of help give you a direction. Scribble in some lines and see where it takes us. That would be okay. That's a bizarre idea. I have an interesting idea. Let's see if it can play out here. Scribble some lines in first and see what that looks like before I tell you what I'm doing. I may change my mind. Okay. That'll be different. Why not? Let's try that. We're gonna do something kind of funky here. Right now it kind of looks like a big cluster. Like, what in the world is he doing? Check us out. Let's see what we can do with it. There we go. Yep. In case you haven't guessed, we're gonna go with some kind of weird billy goat bot. Some kind of billy goat thing here. This could be interesting. All right, that's different. Different is fun. Is definitely different. Cool. Nope, that looks more like a nose. We don't want to do that. So, yeah, let's go down an angle like so. There. Oh. Hey, there we go. Scratch that in. Okay. Center lines are a little off. We can make adjustments as we go. Not the end of the world. Like so. All right. Like we're going with a Rambot today. So we're gonna go with definitely with the horizontal, like slit eyes. Just because goats have those weird horizontal slits. So that'll be our eyes. Clean this up a little bit real quick. Move on to figuring out the rest of the body. Good clean work lines just to work with. All right. There we go. Moving on. Now, here's the question. What do we do with this neck? You're going to need to be nice and thin. Nice and thin neck. We're going to do... Yeah. Do nice big rings. Thin neck with big rings. I like that. We'll do 3 big rings, I think. Here, yep. Each one progressively getting smaller as we go down. Yeah, like that. Like so. And one more small ring right there. Maybe we don't always have to make sense. Just has to look cool. I think that's where we're going with today. We're just gonna build up some random weird shapes, make it interesting looking robot. It's the Rambot. It may not make the most amount of sense, but it's the elements, and there might be an element too we pull out of this drawing. They're like possible future concepts, or it could be just, hey, I've now officially done some kind of weird Rambot, and we'll just roll with that. The nice thing about these brainstorming sessions is that that's all they are. They do not have to make sense even in the littlest. And maybe just, you know, hey, these horns are really neat. I like the idea of the spiral horns coming out. Or what I did with the neck, that's a different technique than I've never done a neck before. I do this with antennas and stuff, but I've never done it with the actual neck. So that could be interesting. Or we may just chalk this one up to, hey, you know what? That's a lesson in what not to do. Those sometimes are also key. Sometimes you gotta have those big mistakes where you're like, okay, what did I just accomplish? But here's the deal. This may turn out to be the best thing I've ever done. Or we could work this out and be like, okay, you know what? Good try, but try again. Either way, we know we've made the attempt. That's what we're gonna do here. Hopefully you'll stick with me at the end and see if we can turn this somewhat awkward drawing into something cool. Now, there's one thing I've realized after this point. If there's a piece that I think just absolutely I flop majorly on, man, that's gotta be one of the worst things I've ever done. I just can't stand it. I don't like it. As soon as I think that to myself, someone will think that's the best piece they've ever seen in their life. And it's the first one that sells, and you're like, you just didn't see it coming. Or that's the piece that everybody's gravitated to, like, oh my God, that is so amazing. And I'm like, I was getting thrown in the trash. But it just goes to show you that I may not always have the best judgment when it comes to taste. Let's see here. And I kind of stick with that whole theme of things coming out. Yep. Sure, how I'm feeling about that. We may clean that up a little bit, and then we'll just go straight into inking here and see what we can do with colors. We're going to somewhat clean that up a little bit. leave that center line down the middle here. Let's open these eyes up a little larger. In this phase, I always recommend people draw real light. Makes it easier to erase and easier to change things if you just light. Make it show up here in camera. We're getting pretty dark. I'll be real heavy with the pencil lines here. It's just mainly so you guys can see it better on film or camera, digital. Whatever you call that hoopa joop right there in front of me that we're recording on. Let's see here. Get this a little bit more. Yeah. I just feel like that needs something right there. Have it on. What does that need? Maybe I need to come down. Let's do something like this. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, that's what it needed. There. Yeah, that's what it needed. And I think it needs one big jewel right here in the forehead. Almost like a third eye. Bit there. Cool. Do it like that. We're going to change this up here a little bit. Get a little bit of a upward curl. I have an idea here. Gold tips. Oh, changing it up, making it look good. Now let's do out. Make those gold tip as well. Like bellows. Bellows. Sweet. Now, hey, that's it. Think it. Moving on. All right, yeah, this is going to be totally different than I initially thought. But when you draw something you're like not sure of, just keep working it. Just keep working it. That is the key. We're just going to kind of outline everything with a number 3. Just kind of lock in these details. And then we'll grab out some of these pencil lines and we'll be ready to start inking. I think it's fair to say I've never actually drawn anything quite like this before. That's a good thing. Experimentation. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes not so much so, but you never know unless you try out every concept you can think of. All right, moving right along. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you guys found the channel and helped me out quite a bit. I appreciate every single person who will subscribe to the channel and leave me comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know about this piece. Do you like this piece? Are you not sure about this piece? What do you think? Is this a fail or is this a success? I'm on the fence with this one, but we'll push it out to the end. We're gonna keep on keeping. We're not gonna... One of the keys to any successful drawing is not giving up. I'm so optimistic about this one, but we'll see where it turns out. I have definitely had some drawings in the past where I was like, oh, these are I was convinced it was going to be one of the worst things I've ever done, but by the time I finished it, it turned out to be my favorite. We'll see about this one. Ooh. Change that line on the fly, made a little bit of a change in direction, but that's it, right? Not that big a deal. Easy to adapt to. Kind of weird decorative ram's head. Alright, let's switch out pens. He's getting a little bit tired. Hey, WT, just noticed you showed up. Good to see you. It's definitely an interesting one so far. Oh yeah, that pen's much nicer. Yeah, curl it in like that. Okay. Got done here. See, what if yeah, I think we'll just leave it the way it was. Leave it simple. Don't need to overthink that part of it. All right. That is our ram sugar skull, kind of weird one today. I don't know. Let's find out what it looks like with color, shall we? Just keep on pushing it. Again, this is another one where I got real thick with the graphite and the pencil here, so I'm gonna just do a quick little half-ass eraser over top. Get rid of some of that. Some of those scribbles are a little thick. There we go. Good enough. Now, maybe I'll get colorful with it. That might help. So we're going to use some purple. I'm going to use the shiny stuff. Let's go with some glitter purple, and let's do antelope brown. And we'll kind of mix these two together. Let's see what that comes up with, shall we? Might be interesting. All right, here we go. Do our pre-wet here, just helps the ink flow. You've never seen me do it before. Just by lightly doing a little water wash around the outside edge. Gonna help us direct the water where we want it and allows it just to run. You don't want it too wet, you don't want it too dry either, so it's just a good amount of water. Wherever you want it to really just flow. In here, and in here, and here, and here. Okay. Decent amount of water on here. Just let it run today. Just let it run. We'll go darker purple in a minute. First, let's scratch into this antelope brown. Water. Keep this real blotchy. You want a real kind of runny too. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I'm gonna go with a different effect that I've never done before. This is more just a real blotch. We're top this purple. Experimenting. Always experiment. Do not be afraid of failure, because here's the deal. And or this is going to be the theme, is failure on this one. It's not saying this is failing. I think it could turn out still pretty awesome. But push through bad ideas. You know, you don't. A lot of times you'll give up real easy. You're like, oh, this isn't working. I don't like what's happening. So you just toss it aside, chalk it off as a loss, and either draw something else or just give up for the day. And push through these bad failures, because you're going to learn more from failures than you are successes. Successes teach you what works. And it's real easy when you find something that works to just stick with what works. You don't experiment. You don't push yourself beyond your boundaries. You're just constantly doing the one thing you know works. So seek failure. Sometimes do things you've never done before with the understanding that, hey, I'm going to see what I can fail today and see how bad I can make it look. Because in that process, you'll find a technique you've never done before, or a color palette you've never used before, or something may come of it that's just like, oh man, you're gonna fall in love with, and you'll turn on and you'll use it again on a better piece. So don't be afraid of it. God knows I've had my fair share of failures. And again, some pieces I thought were absolute failures and I pushed through. Somebody just fell in love with, and like, man, it was their favorite piece that they've ever seen, and they bought it and love it. It hangs on their wall and they brag about it. So if somebody loves it, by all means, you've done something right. I mean, honestly, the entire reason I'm doing robots to start with is I was experimenting. I was playing with new ideas, something I'd never done before. I hadn't planned on doing a bunch of robots. I just kind of bored one day and I drew a bunch of robots. I did not expect people to love them the way they did and they start buying them up. The robot thing was a complete accident. I mean, that was the last thing. The first thing I thought I was going to be doing was robots. I never sought out to do robots and be a robot, an artist that focuses on that. But it was an accident that just happened to really catch on. People fell in love with it and they started buying them up. For any artist to be able to sell, that alone is an inspiration to keep doing whatever you're doing. All right, we're gonna do a little blow dryer action. We're gonna do a second layer on this. So we're gonna go back and forth. Now we're gonna go back to purple, then back to the antelope brown, and see if I can build up a little bit. Working a little darker each time. Let's see. I might grab the secondary purple. I'll use both my shiny purple and my darker purple without glitter. Again, I'll emphasize I'm playing with these inks and I'm still on the fence. Love or hate glitter. Half the people I talk to absolutely love the glitter inks, and the other half hate the glitter inks. And probably won't surprise you, most females are loving the glitter inks and most guys are like, I could do without. But I'm not an artist for either guy or girl. I'm not specific. I do art that appeals to everybody, so I'm kind of on the fence myself. Some pieces turn out to be a lot more feminine, some turn out to be more masculine, and that's the way I want it. That's the way I like it. So I'm on the fence with them. Let me know how you think about the glitter inks. Do you like glitter inks, or do you rather I stuck with just the plain stuff? Comment down below, let me know. I get enough people saying stop with the glitter thing, then I'll knock it off. The people who love it, maybe I'll do more. But we'll see. Everything's an experiment. Every piece I do in this series is just an exercise to see what works and what doesn't work for I'll take the knowledge from these live streams and I'll put them towards my large body of work and my other paintings. And if you haven't seen what those look like, go onto my channel and check out my time-lapse videos I do of the larger works. I'm pretty proud of those. I'd love to know what you think on those as well. See, I liked it before I started doing the second layer. The second layer to me kind of got a little busy. So I think I'm gonna go over top, do some splatter effects, see if I can tone this down a little bit. It looked really good. Now this, I kind of overworked it, I think. Again, exercise in finding out what works and what doesn't work. I hadn't put any dark purple in yet, so I'll do the dark purple in the splatter. Just gonna kind of even this out. And then let's see, let's do this. I liked it when I pulled the ink off of it. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna splatter purple, then we're gonna go really deep again on the antelope brown, over top the whole thing one more time. Try to pull some of that ink back off, see if we can get that effect to come back. Maybe work, it may not. Let's play. Let's have fun with it. Alright, so we're gonna go with big old splatters. We're gonna get real wet on our toothbrush. Just let it flop. The more water I have, the bigger blops it makes. Turn the paper as we go. This gets messy and fun. It also gives me a black thumb for the rest of the day. Heavy on one side, but not on the other. Okay. That's good and blotchy. Gonna dip, get a little water on the corner of my towel here. Just gonna come through and kind of clean up a little bit inside the ram himself. These are the big blotches. Can give it a little purple hint, but a little purple hue to him. Not a big deal. Now we're gonna blow dry this a little bit, pull the ink right back off. Tell you what, that blow dryer is pure havoc on any piece of paper I have, especially my palette I keep over here to the right of the paper. Yeah, that's what that looks like. Palette over here. I blew the ink all the way up underneath it. Made a big old mess. Blow dryers. Oh well. Fun to get messy. Alright. So back to antelope brown one more time. Thick pass just over some areas. And we're gonna see, I'm gonna get real blotchy with it. Want it really thick. I'm gonna pull it right back off. I want a lot of ink here. Here, just a splotchy. Let's get a lot more out. We're getting real thick. I'm gonna allow it to dry. Then I'm gonna blot a lot of that back off. Let it pull up a little bit. There we go. That's dark. That's what I'm looking for. Real dark. In a lot of these areas. Seen a big trend lately, just a little bit. Went on Facebook and noticed a lot of acquaintances or people that I've known in my past that are posting this stuff about these. They're getting into drawing a little bit. Like, oh, I haven't drawn forever and I don't draw very often, but what do you think? I drew this today. I drew that today. I've been pretty excited about seeing that. Not so much that they're watching my channel, but I've been telling them, hey, jump on here, you know, come see what I'm doing here on Stinky Robot. You might have fun if you're just drawing for fun and comparing with things you haven't done in a long time. Hey, this is the place for you. You know, jump on here and draw with me, experiment, play around. So if you know anybody that's kind of gotten back into drawing as well, let them know, hey, you should check out Stinky Robot. You don't have to draw what he's drawing. He draws live 5 days a week and encourages people to jump on and have fun and just draw with him for a couple hours. You know, an hour or two just to play and practice. You know anybody like that, let them know. They come by the channel and check it out. Alright, so that's real dark. That's what I was going for. We're going to give it a quick little half blow dry. And then again, we're going to try to pull it back up. Alright, a couple little straight lines just for interest, break it up a little bit. But yeah, that's a... Alright, that's it. That's where we're gonna go with that. Let's make us a ram. Light blue. Definitely use some purple in here. And the indigo. Always use the indigo. That in a minute. Black. There it is. Indigo. Now, this is where we're gonna get good and messy again. You guys watch my channel, you know that I like to get messy here and bring all the details out of the highlights and shadows. We're gonna go into that right now. Good and messy. So I'm basically kind of working out light where the shadows and stuff want to fall, and then I'll work into the darker parts where the shadows fall. Just a little at a time. And where these purple splatters and the brown splatters from the background worked out, that'll just add more detail and character to the piece. Detail and character. We're just gonna build it, build it, build it. One of the methods that can help you out quite a bit is if you think about, you approach painting almost like you're trying to mold clay or sculpt. You're just kind of work it a little at a time. You can do the same thing with a brush. It'll take some practice, but once you kind of get the idea of what I'm talking about, it really helps out quite a bit. The idea of sculpt instead of paint. Initially you can be like, what in the world is he talking about? Sculpt the brush? But you can almost start building up layers and textures and stuff if that's how you approach it. With a little bit more of a sculpting idea. I'm not gonna just lay on a layer of paint. I'm gonna lay on light little touches of paint here and there, kind of like you're trying to sculpt. Oh, sweet. Right. Go in here and add a little purple. That purple, no, that's blue. Yep, that's the same purple as the background. Oop, that's not! That's too dark! Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Pull that back off. There we go. Lighten that side. Use a bunch of water on there and lighten it all up. And there you go. That's better. Rescued. Using the darker purple, so if you're not careful, you get too much on there, it will definitely go purple. Zero hesitation. Okay. I may not need much indigo in this one. I may use the dark purple over top the blue. On the dark shadow areas, I may stick with the dark purple shadows. That might look in this one. Yeah. In fact, I know that's what I'm going to do. Oh. I'll just leave the indigo out of it. No indigo. We'll probably go into Payne's Gray here in a minute. Darken all the shadow side, darkened out this purple. So, like so. Okay. Purple right up under here. Little blue here. Too dark. I don't know if I love it or hate it. I think it's just different. I don't know what the piece, this is just a different piece. So I'll be really interested. Wait to the end of it, and if you're especially watching this later in, and post down in the comments. Let me know what your opinion is on this piece. Is this let me know. Just simply say success or fail. Your input is always greatly appreciated. Don't feel worried about offending me. I've got a thick skin. I am very hard to offend. I do not cry easily, so don't be too worried about saying something rude. I prefer honesty over just trying to be over niceties. If you think a piece has succeeded, by all means say, hey, it's fantastic, I love it. Give me a good critique. If you think you hate a piece, then say, hey, this is not my favorite piece, I don't like it, give me the reasons why. A good positive critique should always be both positive and negative. You should be able to look at a piece and pick out something, you know what, I like the color I used, but you could work on this, this, and this. A good critique is kind of, you give it a little bit of positive and then you fill it with the negative. You tell them your true feelings, like, this is good, but you could improve here, here, and here. And if you could do that, then you have mastered the art of critiquing. But yeah, I've been plenty of critiques in my time where people are just like, yep, I don't like it. That looks horrible. Like, well, why does it look horrible? I don't know. I just don't like it. Okay. By all means, you're welcome to do that. And again, I will not be crying myself to sleep anytime soon. So you're welcome to say, hey, I don't like it for whatever reason. I don't like that piece. But at the same time, I want to hear why you don't like it. I don't like it because maybe the ram's head isn't the perfect, or the horns are a good idea, but maybe not. Or no, I love it, but don't like the neck. Maybe the background color is just too messy. It need to be cleaner. Maybe I like it more. Tell you what it does look like to me. Skeletor staff. That ram's head just kind of reminds me of Skeletor staff a little bit. Of course, these are more like long spaghetti noodle horns instead of like really thick rolled together horns, but different is different. Not always a bad thing. Okay. All right. Where are we going to go with this? I think I'm going to go with a red jewel, some red bellows, some yellow details, and that'll be green. So it'll be kind of colorful. It'll be a rainbow piece. We're going to get real colorful with it. Horns. What color do the horn? Let's do the robot first. We'll figure it out. Work our way there. Finishing this robot, we're going to add some gray to it. Then we're going to go in here with the highlights and shadows and have at least the robot portion of it finished. Then we can start attaching the horns, the neck, the bellows, the jewel, and the eyes. See what it wants to become. Yeah, one thing I always say to anyone who's watching my live streams is, if you want to comment, do not worry about hurting my feelings. You won't hurt my feelings at all. And that goes the same way. If you see somebody in comments leave a negative response, or in the chat line say, hey, and they, leave a negative comment, let them. Because I want to hear all kinds of comments back and forth. There's no need to protect me or feel like you need to jump in like, oh, don't talk like that. He's trying. He's doing his best. No need to do that. Not at all. Not my chat line. Because I want those negative comments as well as the positive ones. Because in the long run, that will make me a much stronger artist, is being able to hear all opinions regarding my work. Whether it's tearing me a new one, or giving me all kinds of niceties. And I like to hear both sides of it in argument. The one thing I get told a lot, for sure, is, especially by my father, is, I really love your work, just don't understand it. Which is just fine. Those who do, Those who know, and those who don't think it's a pretty neat looking painting, but they don't understand why am I doing robots? Why am I doing that so much? Well, because I got a large community that loves doing the robots, and they love the idea of the robots. I'm gonna tell you what, in nowadays society, the robots are becoming more and more prevalent. It's not gonna be too long before everybody's got at least 1 or 2 robots in their house of some sort. That also really intrigues me about what I'm doing with my paintings is the future of robots has just barely began. And they're going to affect our lives more than people even realize. So doing the robot portraits, I think will have a longevity to it. People may not fully understand it today, but they may tomorrow, and that's kind of the whole idea. Might not get it today, but you will get it tomorrow. Kind of like the whole internet idea. People just didn't understand why you needed internet. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when internet was barely even a thing. I remember the first time we had a computer in the house. And especially the older generation just didn't fully understand why that was going to be necessary. Why do you really need a computer in the house? But nowadays, everybody fully understands, like, dude, I got a computer in my pocket. Everybody's got a computer in their pocket, let alone in their house. Yep. Oh, did I not change it on my live stream? You're right. So yeah, if you saw, it is number 21 on my live stream. I forgot to change that part, didn't I? So yeah, today is live stream number 21, not number 20. I'll fix that when I redo the thumbnail. I'll change that to 21. Thanks for pointing that out, Stace. I would have missed that. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, go yellow with all that. Sure. Okay. Alright, highlights and shadows here on the RAM. And we'll be moving forward. Hour and 13 minutes. Not too bad on time. See if we can speed it up just a little bit though. Yeah, let's keep it that brush. This is a nice brush. It's got a nice fat area so I can really load it up, but it's got a heck of a nice long point so I can really get into the details. So I can use this brush for multiple reasons, multiple methods here. Make sure too dark here. cool. As I darken it up, it looks better and better each. A little bit more each time I put a little darkerness in it. Darkerness, is that the word? Darken it? Darkness. The little darker I make it, the better it looks, I think. On there a little bit and add some. Didn't really add anything in those little stripes in the middle. See if I can touch that up a little bit when I still got this ink wet. Purple. Nope. More purple. Oh. That looks good. That definitely looks good. Okay. Start at the top, work my way down the skull. Okay. Whole lot of darkness down here. Just a little bit there and there, and that'd be just about all she wrote on this. Oh. Okay. Let's highlight this sucker and move on. Getting that white in, let's get some highlights. Now, a lot of times I'd work the whole piece all at once with the shadow and highlights, but we're going to do just this section first before we move forward, just because I'm still trying to play out what colors I want it to be. Why I am being a little more analytical off with him right there at the beginning. We'll go with the highlights and shadows a little earlier than normal. Still trying to get him to tell me what colors he wants certain parts to be. that. Oops. No. Blotch. Okay, good. Got that. Sometimes if it's got a little harsh line there, if I add just a little water and run it right over the top, smooths that line right out, we're good to go. Okay. Oh, little bright white on the edge of the neck right here. A chunk of ink. Take my brush, go with a light, slightly damp brush, and just smooth it all out. Just smooth it out. Now, let's play with the bellows. Yeah, red, gold, gold. Yeah. Green, green. Let's go with the fire or scarlet. I'm thinking scarlet. Let's go scarlet on this one. Get scarlet red. Picture these being more like bellows on the shoulder pads. An element that I add to quite a few of my robots. Start with a lot of water, then down the ink, so it's more of a light red. Then I darken the red up where the shadows are going to be. Then here in a minute, I will come back over top of it. Where the dark red is, I can add just a little bit of probably purple by using this one, and darken that red up a lot with the purple in the shadowed areas. And then the highlighted areas, I'll go with a little probably yellow over top of it, and then that yellow will turn into a nice highlighted reddish orange. More purple. Purple and that red make a nice maroon color. Yeah, looks beautiful dark red, beautiful maroon color. And the shadows complement the purple inside the ram quite nicely. And now the more and more details I get in here, I would go in from a piece, I'm like, oh man, I don't know what I was thinking. Ooh, I think I'm starting to really like this piece now. But there was a point earlier where I was almost willing to give up on it. That initial gut reaction of, oh God, what am I doing? This is crap. Let's stop right here and just stop on the live stream and start all over again. No. That's the beautiful thing about forcing myself to do these live streams. Not really forcing, I love doing them. But forcing myself as in, I can't change, I've already started. So I have to push forward, I have to finish what I've started. Regardless of whatever I've drawn, if it turns out to be just an absolute POS and it's horrible, well, I only got one option. That is finish it. And try to correct whatever mistakes I feel are happening within the painting. And that is what's going to take my work to the next level. That's what will take your next work to the next level as well. You know, if you're at home and you start drawing, you're like, man, I'm not liking what I'm doing. But Michael's not stopping, so I'm not going to stop either. Just force yourself to push through it. And that's great. That's something for both of us to learn in that. And just the darkest parts here and add a little bit of Payne's gray. Just try not to get too fat like I just did there. A little water, it acts almost like a eraser sponge. Suck it back up. Darken that up, darken that up. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Now, go with this too, red. A little dark. Maybe we can brighten that up. Bring some direct red right on top. Highlights in that second. Okay. Boom. I just need it a little darker here. Darker on that red. Beautiful. Now, bring that yellow in, that golden yellow. I like to use the Indian yellow on it. More of an orangish yellow. I don't know, this might be a little too orange. We can play with it. We can play with it. Highlights the shadows. Indeed. Okay. Oh, parts are right up here. And this we got to use black. We cannot use Payne's gray on yellow because it becomes green and we do not want green. So we do have to go with the true black when we go with the yellow. Most any other color I can do with Payne's gray. But if you're not careful, you get real yellow and that, or a real green, and that's not really the color we're going for. We will use green here in a second. I think I'm going to go right here, this part. And the neck is going to be like a translucent green. That's what we're going to be doing. If I don't change my mind between now and then, that's what we'll be going with. Okay, we're going to carefully put a little highlight on either side of this. These little metal balls that go all the way around. Try to give them a little bit of dimension to them. These do not get too black. Maybe just neutral enough. A little black and a little yellow. Mix it together. Try to get neutral color. Getting overwhelming. Sometimes easier said than done, but not a big deal. We'll just keep working it. It's there. Now, these are a little trickier, so I just kind of Try to get the back side of these pearls darkened up. Oh, going too dark. Key. Don't go too dark. And then the same here. This one a little darker now. Just in some of these lower sections. If it's too dark, you can always blot it and that'll lighten it right back up again. Okay. Wait, go back to the red just a little bit. Go into that. Color pink. So I need to hit bright white highlights right here. And need the bright white. We're doing a little tap on the end of each one of those little jewel balls. We'll have a good highlights. Yeah, just don't overthink it. Just tap in your highlights. Using just the very, very tip of the brush, a little white spot on each of the highlighted areas on each one of these little. There we go. Quick, simple, painless. A little bit. Use quite a bit of wet medium on this, so it's getting a little curve to it. There's a little flex and it's back into shape. Okay. So we're gonna have the horns to do. We'll save the horns to the very last element. I think that's what's going to draw the whole piece in and put it together. At the end would be the horns. So let's see here. I've got a great color for this. Now, this is it. Back to my shimmery. Because I've already used some shimmery here in the background. I'll bring it in right here in the neck. Just a little extra shimmer. Okay. Okay. Looks pretty flat right now, and the background kind of blends into it. But here in a second, we'll clean all that up. Make it look good. So first thing we're gonna do, let's see, I got some Payne's gray in right there. I'm gonna lightly add some Payne's gray to this, very light. Come in here, where it just kind of shows like the neck goes on through. See that? Now it looks like the neck continues all the way through the and let's make it more transparent. Do that right there, and we're also going to go on this back side a little bit. And there. And on this front side, just a little bit here. Definitely through here on the back. You want the shadow all the back, a little bit around. Just like so. And this will give us a really transparent look here in just a second. Now we're going to add the white in there. We want it around the back side here. Clean this up. In a little bit. Put that line, blend that in. Right, erase that. Really light. Now we're going to just straight white and pull in some. Lots of white. The opposite side, and on the back side. go. Let's go with just a touch more white. Remember that white is translucent. So when you want real sharp white, you gotta do several layers. You'll get a nice translucent white or a nice opaque white. Okay. Looking good. And a little more highlight right there. Cool. Should we go blackout eyes or should we add color? Let me know your opinions here. Blackout eyes or add color? Okay. Oh. We'll wait till the end on. Yeah, let's do. I'm thinking blackout eyes. Yep. We're gonna. I want to go red, but I don't want to be. That'll give it an evil feel. Green is almost adding too much color to it, so I think we're just gonna pull it back and we're gonna go with blackout. Good. Blacked out eyes. I normally do that with a pen, but I got some black ink right there on the palette, so just be very careful. Take our time. This brush has a nice sharp edge. We'll just do it with this brush. Make sure we don't do like that, like I just did right there. Yep. A little darker right there in the middle. That dries all out, just a little pains, light. Pains go right there in the shadow of the eyes. Yeah, that'll work. I like that. Yeah, I got the antelope, I got the sepia tone. I'm gonna switch over to sepia tone. And get some raw sienna with sepia tone. I'm not gonna use the antelope anymore. The antelope we use in that background, so I'm gonna use a slightly different brown tone just so we don't end up getting too lost in this background. This will help from that happening. We'll start off with our lighter tone. We'll work into our darker tones. I'm gonna build up these horns a little bit. Curlicue horns. Some good watered down color in here. You see, I'm not too worried about getting messy right now. I just want to stay in the lines. I want to leave some white areas. I want some tonality, some tone values. So we're gonna just gonna scrub it in there. This is not our darkest color. This is just our medium tone. And we're just going to kind of keep on the highlight, the dark shadowed side a little bit into a bit of the area, into the highlighted area. Looks a bit mussy now, but that's a good thing. We're gonna clean that up here in a minute. And it'll look a lot better. This is one of those things as you get more and more comfortable laying in colors. You feel more comfortable getting as messy as I am right now. In the early phases, especially messing with inks or almost any medium, in the very beginning you get really uncomfortable with getting too messy. You want to be really, typically you want to lay all the same color over the entire surface first, and then work only one, maybe two layers, and then you want to go straight out of tube into the color you want. The further and more advanced you'll get, the more you'll start understanding getting messy and fixing it. Again, going back to this is a great way. These live streams, or at least do it at home. Do these practice pieces where you purposely try to fail. Let yourself get really, really messy with the colors. Let yourself really push the boundaries of what you're capable of doing. In the process, you will learn a lot about what you can and cannot do with colors and palettes and inks, and with your media in general. Whichever media you're using, push it. Get messy, then try to fix your mess. And you'll learn techniques in your own, and everybody's techniques are different. You'll find your techniques and your voice for cleaning up your mistakes. Now we go with the darker tone. Mid-tone here, raw sienna, it. Okay. Sepia tone. Dark to light and build up these kind of striation patterns. I want them to be very loose and organic in nature. We're going to do the same thing here in a minute with the highlights. And that should give us Oh, we better put a move on it here, guys. We're going to be stepping it up real quick. I was not paying attention to my time going live late today. I am pushing the boundaries. I'm the kid taxi to school here, so I got some kids that are going to want picked up from school here in just a minute. They're like, where is my dad? Dad's at home doing a live stream. We live just far away from the school that they can't quite walk. Side. Side. This is one of those pieces I could definitely work to death. Keep on working it. So we've gotten pretty detailed with it. It was necessary, I think, because we started off with a kind of a rough idea. Real rough idea. First, that's where we said, well, this might be one of those fail pieces. But in order to fix it, we just kind of went more and more in depth with the detail work. And ultimately, I think it paid off. This piece has actually turned out to be fairly decent now. I was very optimistic in the very beginning, as I stated, but it is not, by any standards, one of the worst I've ever done. It actually turned out pretty awesome. So I'm happy about it. Hopefully you think it's not too bad. Like I said, leave me modes in the comments. Let me know if this is kind of the work you like to see, or if it's kind of like, yeah, maybe next time you do a little something different. Let me know, tear me apart, give me a good critique. Again, I am not scared of a rough critique. Cool. And here with a little bit of white, and I'm gonna do a highlight. I'm gonna give myself exactly 10 minutes to have this piece 100% finished. That is pushing it for me to jump in the car and go get some kiddos, so we'll take it to the very last second today. Too much pink. Right, highlights in here, like so. Okay. All that for now. Got some kids to get from school, so we're going to do a quick little outline over the entire thing again. And peel, reveal. So blow dryer. Number 5 and a number 8. Mainly a number. White highlight right, missed right here. Hit that with a little white, make it look better. One more time in here, just really need to. A little more translucent now. Well, quick and easy, just cleaning things up, guys. Clean things up in a massive hurry. I've got, whew. We're gonna end this live stream running, we are. Alright, almost there. So yeah, one might argue you really don't need to go through and outline all this, but it helps make it pop off, and this is just, as we said, conceptual, so it helps the idea kind of stick out a little bit more. And it looks better than not. Again, if we were trying to do this as a finalized piece of art, then we'd take a lot more time on this, and I'd worry much more about, you know, getting details and cross-hatching and making it really pop, because we could spend for a long time on this and we could make it look absolutely amazing. If that's something you're interested in watching me do, definitely comments down below and let me know, hey, I want to see longer ones. I will be doing some long ones at some point, but if I get a lot of people saying, hey, I prefer the long ones or I want long ones, then we'll reevaluate on doing these live streams and see how long we go. By all means, leave me comments down below, and I take any and all suggestions and into advisements. This is an early channel. We just got it going. This is, again, live stream number 21. I'll correct that when I post the new thumbnail. But, yeah. But this gets the idea across. And again, consider we start every single drawing with zero idea of what we're doing, for the most part. I think it turned out pretty awesome. I went through several phases of love-hate with this one, but in the end it's pretty fantastic. I really do dig it. We're definitely over on time. It took us a little longer today. You know what? Let's rewind. Rewind. Quick little correction. All right. I feel like this one's going to need just a little bit of love. Goes to the border. We're in that corner. I don't know why, but on certain ones when I get too heavy on the background, I like doing this. It just adds a nice little pop. We're gonna Speedy Gonzalez here. We're gonna do a fast and finalized reveal. Then I will be running out the door. I'll be fine on time. I'll be in the back of the parent line, but I will not be too late, so it's not the end of the world. They'll be just fine. But yeah, I mean, tell you what, going from not liking it much and what in the world am I doing to this final piece, yeah. I think it's pretty impressive how well it turned out. I was worried it got too dark on the background as well, but I tell you what, that's pretty fantastic. Let's shove that aside and grab this. Hop in here to our last final split screen. Well, there you go, guys. It is done. That is, I don't know, goat head bot or ram bot. I think ram. I like ram over goat. So that's our ram bot piece. Yeah, pretty impressive how it turned out. Pretty happy with it. Actually, I'm really happy with it. So, you're a fan of the broken border? Yeah, I am too. Some pieces call for it, some don't. The heavier on the background I get, the more background I wash in, the more I want to do that broken border. Just kind of, it feels right. And yeah, let me know how you feel about this piece. Leave me comments down below. Do you like this one? Do you hate this one? I was on the fence, and now I'm a thumbs up. And hopefully you'll give me one of those too. You give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel. We're getting really close to 100 subscribers. It's super exciting. We'll have to do something when we get to 100. I'm not sure what yet, but guys, thank you so much for showing up. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I will not be late. It will be 11:30 Central Time on this channel. Come hell or high water, I will not be late tomorrow. So guys, see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.